Welcome to the Stoic Golden Tribe, where enduring wisdom meets the strength of presence, and where we uncover the truths modern society refuses to teach men. They told you love is effortless, that if you just follow your heart, everything will fall into place. They sold you a version of romance filled with fairy tales, filtered pictures, and fast feelings that burn bright but fade faster than they arrived. But here's the truth. Modern society has completely distorted what love actually is. It turned love into a transaction, into a status symbol, into something you chase to feel complete instead of something you grow through truth, sacrifice, and real connection. Today we're going to strip away the lies and reveal what love demands from a man. Not just the sweet parts, but the gritty, silent work behind real masculine love. You'll understand how women behave under the influence of these modern illusions, and what a man must awaken to if he wants to protect his heart, preserve his strength, and lead with truth in his relationships. This video isn't for the passive man, it's for the man who's tired of being lied to, and who's ready to rise above the noise. Drop a comment below if you've ever felt like society gave you a false image of love, and tell us what lesson shook you awake. If you're ready to learn what real love demands and why the modern world has lost its grip on it, then stay with us. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The myth of effortless love and the trap it creates for men. Modern society romanticizes love as if it's a movie script, spontaneous, dramatic, and endlessly exciting. We're bombarded with images of perfect couples, highlight reels on social media, and phrases like, when you know, or love should never be hard. But that is not love. That is infatuation, chemistry, and illusion. The very beginning of the emotional journey, not the destination. The lie that love is supposed to be easy is one of the most damaging beliefs a man can carry into his relationships. Because here's what happens. A man meets a woman. There's passion, excitement, a rush of connection. She laughs at his jokes. He feels seen, maybe for the first time in a long time. It feels right. But then, the first disagreement happens. She withdraws, she tests, she seems cold or distracted. And suddenly he panics. He thinks, maybe this isn't love, maybe this is wrong. But the truth, this is the moment real love begins. Because love is not about everything going smoothly. It's about how two people show up when things start to get difficult. Most men have been taught to measure love by the highs, the spark, the attention, the desire. But real love is revealed in the lows, how she treats you when she's angry, how she handles your vulnerability, how you handle hers. Modern culture has raised a generation that's addicted to feelings but allergic to responsibility. It's built on instant gratification. If she annoys you, swipe right. If he disappoints you, ghost him. If the spark fades, just leave. There's always someone new. But true love isn't found, it's built. The ancients understood this. The Stoics believed that love was not a fleeting emotion, but a powerful duty, an agreement to support someone's growth, not just bask in their affection. Marcus Aurelius, the great Roman emperor and philosopher, once said, "You were born to stand firm, not to be carried away." This applies to love as well. To love is to stand firm, not to flee when emotions fluctuate. And this is where modern men get trapped. We're told to chase a dream that doesn't exist. We're encouraged to find a love that just clicks, rather than a woman who is willing to grow with us through seasons of change. So what happens? Men become reactive. When a woman pulls away, they panic. When she tests his strength, he crumbles. When emotions shift, as they naturally do, he assumes something is broken, when in truth, something real is being revealed. Because women will test you emotionally, mentally, spiritually, not to destroy you, but to discover if you are the man you claim to be. Women do this often unconsciously. It's part of their emotional nature. And many modern women, especially those influenced by social media and pop culture, are caught in a cycle of validation seeking rather than true vulnerability. Some chase attention and confuse it for affection. Some equate emotional drama with love, because calmness feels boring after years of emotional chaos. Some even leave stable men not because those men weren't enough, but because they themselves didn't know what real love required. This leaves good men deeply confused, the kind of men who show up, stay loyal, lead with emotional strength, are often the ones left behind in favor of excitement, rebellion, or superficial connections. But this isn't a call to blame women. This is a call to understand the battlefield. You, as a man, must stop waiting for love to feel easy. You must stop expecting women to validate your masculinity and start becoming a man who leads from within. Because love, real, lasting, soul-binding love, is not passive. It requires you to rise. It requires emotional self-control when you want to lash out. It requires patience when she tests you. It requires discernment when the world tells you to walk away just because it hurts. Love is a war of ego, and the man who can master his own wins. Not by dominating others, but by standing strong in who he is, regardless of how others shift. Here's what society won't tell you. Love isn't supposed to complete you. It's supposed to refine you. It's supposed to expose your weaknesses and force you to confront them, to sharpen your focus, to elevate your standards, to teach you when to fight and when to walk away. But none of this happens when you chase ease. Ease is seductive, but it never transforms you. Discomfort? That's where the work, or when the wisdom, lies. So let me tell you this, if love has ever left you questioning yourself, good. That means you cared. That means your heart was open. But now it's time to lead with strength, not emotion. A man must never beg for ease. He must be willing to build something few others have the patience or presence to sustain. That's what makes him rare. That's what makes him a pillar in a world full of scattered stones. Drop a comment below. Have you ever confused effortless love for real love? What lesson opened your eyes? Chapter 2. How Women Behave. When love becomes a performance, not a partnership. One of the greatest distortions modern society has created is the idea that love is a stage, a performance, where people show their best sides and play their most attractive roles. But what happens when the mask slips? When love is no longer about performance, but about truth? This is where everything begins to shift. Many women today are taught from a young age that love is something to win, not something to build. That it's about being chosen, being adored, being admired, not necessarily about the quiet, selfless work of partnership. In the age of curated lifestyles and filtered intimacy, love has become about image, not impact. So here's what often unfolds. In the beginning, she's present, warm, supportive. She says all the right things, but somewhere along the line, a subtle shift happens, especially if she was never grounded in what true love means. Suddenly she's comparing your relationship to someone else's online. She wants grand gestures, not grounded effort. She wants validation, not vulnerability. She craves attention, but resents accountability. Why? Because society has taught many women, not all, but many, that being desired is more important than being deeply known, that if love doesn't look like a fairy tale, it must be broken. And so they begin to act from a place of performance. They withdraw their softness and replace it with conditions. They stop nurturing and start keeping score. They begin testing, not to grow closer, but to see if you'll chase them, validate them, or lose yourself trying to keep their interest. This isn't always malicious. Often it's unconscious, because a woman raised in a culture of performance will naturally begin to perform. So where does this leave men? It leaves men confused by the sudden emotional distance. It leaves them trying to solve problems that don't actually exist. It's because the problem isn't in the man's actions, but in the woman's unresolved expectations. Here's a truth no one wants to say. If a woman needs to constantly test your love, she doesn't trust herself to receive it. And if you, as a man, keep performing to meet her shifting standards, you'll lose your core, your peace, and your power. That's why ancient wisdom matters now more than ever. The Stoics believed that love must begin from within, that a man must be ruled by reason, not emotion, that his inner peace cannot be bargained with, not even for love. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts." If your thoughts are constantly spinning from her moods, her games, or her withdrawal, you are no longer leading. You are following chaos disguised as passion. So what should a man do? First, recognize the performance. If her love is conditional, if her affection depends on how much you validate her image, if peace is constantly interrupted by unnecessary drama, understand this. That is not partnership. That is a performance. Second, return to your frame. A grounded man doesn't chase feminine energy that's in turmoil. He offers stability, yes, but not at the cost of his dignity. He leads with clarity, not confusion. He understands that sometimes the most powerful move isn't to convince her to stay, but to walk away when love has turned into theater. Third, don't retaliate, elevate. Don't match her performance with your own. Don't play emotional chess. Don't withdraw your strength to get even. Simply stand firm, set boundaries, speak truth, and if she's meant to rise with you, she will. If not, you just made room for a woman who actually understands what love requires. This is the harsh truth. Society won't teach you. A woman's behavior in a relationship reflects not just her love for you, but her understanding of love itself. Now, you can't fix that. You can only reflect it back to her through your own example. Real love isn't about chasing moods, it's about standing in truth and seeing who stands with you. Drop a comment below. Have you ever experienced a relationship that felt more like a performance than a partnership? What did you learn from it? Chapter 3. Why men must unlearn the nice guy. Conditioning to find real love. From an early age, men are taught to be agreeable, polite, accommodating, especially in relationships. You're told that if you're kind enough, patient enough, and give enough, she will love you. That if you don't raise your voice, if you always say yes, if you show her you're nothing like those other men, she will choose you, stay loyal, and never take you for granted. But here's the brutal truth modern society won't say out loud. Being a nice guy doesn't make a woman love you. It often makes her lose respect for you. Now understand this. I'm not talking about kindness. Real masculinity is deeply kind. It's rooted in presence, compassion, and discipline. But being nice in the modern sense, being a doormat, constantly seeking approval, tolerating disrespect, is not noble. It's weak. And women sense that, even if they can't explain it. Because deep down, a woman doesn't want a man who bends to please her. She wants a man who stands firm, even if it means disagreeing with her. She wants to feel your presence, not your passivity. Society has created a generation of men afraid to lead in love, afraid to speak truth, afraid to say no. You've been taught that being a good man means being harmless, but that's not strength, that's submission. Ancient wisdom tells a different story. In the traditions of the Stoics, samurai, and even ancient African kingship, the strong man was not the loudest, but the one who commanded himself. A man with self-control, clarity, and grounded authority. A man who could lead with virtue, not ego. And that leadership started with his emotional life. Modern men have been conditioned to think that any assertion of power is toxic, but power without abuse is protection. And when you don't lead in your relationships, when you hand the emotional reins to a woman who's looking to you for direction, chaos often follows. You'll notice it in her behavior. She starts to test you more. She withdraws her affection just to see how you'll react. She creates conflict, not because she wants drama, but because she wants to feel your strength in the storm. And the nice guy, he panics, he tries harder, apologizes for things he didn't do, becomes smaller, hoping it will make her come closer. But it never does, because here's the truth. Women don't fall in love with men they can control. They fall in love with men they can trust. And trust is built through strength, not subservience. So what does this mean for you? It means you must unlearn everything weak culture taught you about love. Love is not about losing yourself in her. It's about staying rooted in who you are, so that if she leaves, or changes, or tests you, your foundation remains unshaken. It means setting boundaries without fear, It means walking away when respect is lost. It means giving love from abundance, not desperation. And it means this: you were not made to be liked by everyone. You were made to be respected by the right one. When you stop acting out of fear of losing her and start acting from your internal truth, you'll not only attract better women, you'll become the kind of man who can lead a relationship from chaos into clarity. This world needs more men like that. Not perfect men, not passive men, but present men. Wise men. Strong men. The kind of man who doesn't flinch when love tests him, because he no longer chases love to feel worthy. He knows that his worth is not something given by a woman. It is something rooted deep within him, forged in trial, anchored in purpose. That is the man who survives the storms of love and leads others through it. Drop a comment below. Have you ever played the nice guy in a relationship only to realize it cost you your self-respect? How did you rise from it? Chapter 4. The Path of the Stoic Man. Choosing truth over comfort in love. At some point in every man's journey, he faces a decision. Stay comfortable in the illusions society sold him about love, or step into a brutal, beautiful truth that will change how he sees women, relationships, and himself forever. That moment is your initiation. It's the moment when you stop asking, "How can I make her stay?" and you start asking, "What kind of man must I become to attract love that is worthy of my soul?" This is the path of the Stoic man, the man who chooses truth over comfort. He stops looking for love to save him. He stops needing approval from women. He stops chasing the illusion of ease and instead walks the path of meaning, because meaning is never handed to you. It's earned through fire, solitude, heartbreak, and reflection. You see, society will always push you toward emotional laziness. It tells you to swipe left, scroll endlessly, avoid discomfort, and numb yourself with temporary highs, validation, lust, attention. But none of these things lead to real love. Real love isn't fast, it's not dramatic. It doesn't chase trends, it's quiet, it's steady. It reveals itself in moments when no one else is watching, when you stay present in discomfort, when you speak truth that might cost you something, when you choose growth instead of gratification. And the Stoic man, he welcomes these moments. He knows that love, at its core, is not something you fall into, it's something you rise within. So when she distances herself, he doesn't beg, he observes. When she tests him, he doesn't react, he remains calm. When she leaves, he doesn't collapse, he returns to his mission, because his heart was never built to revolve around one woman. It was built to hold the fire of truth, and that fire attracts what is real and burns away what is false. Women sense this. Whether they admit it or not, they feel it in a man who stands in his own frame. They feel safer with a man who won't collapse under pressure. They feel more drawn to a man who doesn't need them, but who chooses them consciously without fear or performance. That's the man who breaks patterns. That's the man who teaches her what love really is. Not through words, but through how he lives. And if you're that man, understand this. You will be misunderstood. You will lose people. You will be seen as cold, arrogant, even heartless by those who cannot grasp the depth of your clarity. But you will also find a rare kind of peace, and eventually a rare kind of love. The kind that doesn't play games, the kind that doesn't run when things get tough, the kind that chooses you, not because you made her feel good all the time, but because you made her feel safe, seen, and led. And all of this begins with a single decision: to stop chasing comfort and start walking in truth, to stop performing and start becoming, to stop following modern illusions and start honoring ancient principles. That is the way of the Stoic Golden Tribe. And if you're hearing this now, then you are being called. Drop a comment below. What truth about love did you have to face before becoming the man you are now? Or what truth are you still wrestling with today? If you made it to the end of this video, you're not like most men. Most will click away when the truth starts to burn. Most will keep chasing illusions because it's easier than confronting what love and manhood actually requires. But you're here. And that means something. It means you're not afraid to look in the mirror. It means you're willing to trade comfort for clarity. And it means you're ready to become the kind of man who doesn't beg for love, but who becomes the foundation it can rest upon. So as you walk away from this video, take this with you. Let women do what they will. Let society scream what it wants. You stay grounded. You stay focused. You stay honorable. Because in a world full of noise, your quiet strength is your rebellion. Your presence is your power. And your truth is your legacy. If this message spoke to something deep inside you, then don't keep it to yourself. Like this video so it reaches another man who's ready to wake up. Share it with a brother who's walking through confusion. Subscribe to join the Stoic Golden Tribe, a place for men who lead with presence, protect their peace, and pursue love with wisdom, not weakness. And finally, drop a comment below. Let us know what part of this message hit the hardest. Your words might be the spark another man needs to hear. We don't just talk here, we build, we rise, and we remember. In a world that forgot what love is, we don't chase it. We embody it. Until next time, stay sharp, stay grounded, and never forget who you are.